To those of you who have subscribed to the channel, thank you. It means a great deal. To those of you who have yet to subscribe to the channel, it would mean a great deal if you would, and give the video a thumbs up. Right, what I want to talk to you about today is another part of our creating a children's book series, and we're going to look at how many words are in a children's book. Now this is going to be a really tricky subject because a lot of people have different ideas on how many words in a children's book. What age do children start reading? What age do they start reading and enjoying it with maybe tens of thousands of words and not really much in the way of pictures? So basically here, what I've done is I've tried to break it down a little bit and as I see it. So words in children's books for non-readers, as in, well, speaks for itself, doesn't it? But young children who haven't really developed the skills to read. They can see the words, they can make a few things out, but it means nothing to them. Now you can really have a book up to about 600 words would be ideal for that, but plenty of pictures relating to the story, because somebody's going to be telling the child the story, and it could be a grandparent, parents, older sibling, anything, but or anyone, I should say. But really, it's a tricky one, but it shouldn't really be that tricky. The idea is to keep the adult entertained or having fun telling the story and seeing the reaction on the child. Letting the child see the pictures. Now the child will be able to pick up on a few things. Let's say it's a rabbit and the adult actually tells the child, says the word rabbit. Now the child will be able to relate to the image of the rabbit, say, if they're familiar with that. So having that connection between the words and the pictures is super important, and the adult being able to tell that story to convince the child that the pictures relate to the story, and so they can both have fun with it. And then after that, the child can actually pull the book out of a bookshelf or toy box or wherever it might be, and put it on the floor, put it on the desk, and just go through the pictures, because the child will remember what the adult has said. So when the child turns the pages and there's the rabbit, the child will know it's a rabbit, but will hear the parent say rabbit. Does a book for a child who doesn't read at all have to have any words? Well, not necessarily. And does it have to have that many words? No. I mean, here's an example. We've got the wonky donkey. But if we look at it, and we look inside, and I've done a little bit of checking, and there's not 500 words in this book. You know, it's actually quite clever, but there's not 500 words in the book. This one, 10 minutes till bedtime. Very few words in this book. 10 minutes till bedtime. They're coming. Name on the street here. Hi, in this little bubble. All aboard. I mean, there's basically next to nothing in this book. A few little bits. It works, and it's selling lots of copies. And if we go to A Ball for Daisy, now A Ball for Daisy has no words in it at all. So we've got the title page, obviously, and the copyright information, and then there's nothing. There's just the dog and the ball getting up to mischief or doing whatever during the day. And that's it, there's no words. So you can get away with no words at all. Some children, you know, they develop quicker than others. You know, you could give someone a book and say, well, you know, it's a bit too young for they could say it's a bit too young for my child, or it's a bit too old for my child. And, you know, you could get slanted for that. And it's a real shame, because it is what it is, and then everybody's different. So for readers to 5+, so, like you say, give it to 6 to 7, just to allow that. I'd go with 600 to 3,000 words. And I think that's pretty good. That's not a bad size book. You'll probably find that 1,000 or 1,500 words will do quite well. And then I've looked at it again, and I've gone for readers from 7 up. Now I'm not going past 10 years old. You know, I mean, again, it depends on the child, but you would expect that a child at about 10 years old might be able to get to grips with 3,000 words or more. Yeah, whether that's the case or not, but the words would have to be simple. They would have to be nothing too complex where they want to be asking every 2 minutes what that word is. It shouldn't be that difficult, but keep the words fairly simple. They don't, like I say, they don't have to be much. But the story has to be important to keep their attention. It's the same with any sort of story. To keep a child's attention, it's probably harder than keeping an adult's attention. We can sort of sit down for a bit and have a bit of a break. A child doesn't really walk anywhere. They run everywhere. Everything's quick. Everything's on the go. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's a short video. It's just I got asked how many words are in a children's book. And as many as you want. But there are some guidelines, font sizes. So the younger the child, the bigger the font when they're at reading age. Or even for the narrator, whoever it is, a family member or whatnot, can read the words, and they don't take up little bits of space on a page. They're actually taking up some of the page for those young children that are more into the picture book side of things. For the older children, yeah, like I say, keep the font a bit smaller until they're adult-sized fonts, and keep the big words out of there, keep the complex arguments or situations out of there. Try to make it an easy read, paragraph short, chapters short, sentences short, just to try to keep their interest in the book. So like I said, there's lots of variables. That's just my opinion, and probably won't be your opinion. But that's not going to stop you from giving me a thumbs up for effort, okay? Right, so I hope that helps.